All right, welcome to today's Tech Talk Tuesday. And for today's video, we're once again working on the SRT-4. And I'm gonna show you guys how to go ahead and pull the dash pad out of this thing so you can get access to things like pulling the boost gauge out or pulling out the instrument cluster. Or in the case of what we're doing today on mine, we're gonna be replacing a couple of dash parts, namely the instrument cluster lens, because the one that's in there right now is a little foggy at the bottom of it. And it's nothing that really affects the performance or the clarity of the gauges, but it's something that I've been wanting to replace because it's bugging me, and the car is just wanting to make it that much nicer. So we're going to replace that. We're also going to be replacing the plastic bezel that goes underneath the instrument cluster, because once again, the one that's currently in the car is a little worn, needs to be updated. So we're going to go ahead and swap those out. Now, to do this job, it's super easy. So you only need a couple of minor tools. To pull the dash pad out, you just need really a Phillips screwdriver, so that way you can get access to the 4 screws that are holding it in place. And then also, if you're replacing the bezel on the instrument cluster, you're going to need a Torx screwdriver here. It's about a T15 in size, so it's super easy. Let's go ahead and jump in there and show you how it's actually done. All right, so as I mentioned, there are 4 screws that are holding in the dash pad here. There's one on each end, which you can see here, one on each side, so you have to open the doors to get to that. And then there's 2 more that are in the defroster vent. So we'll go outside the car and I'll show you exactly where those are. All right, so you can see on each side of the defroster, you've got your screws that hold it in. So we'll go ahead and pull those 4 screws out, and there's a couple other things you need to pull out before you can pull that dash pad out. Let's jump back in and I'll show you what I mean. All right, so in addition to the screws that you have to pull out of the dash pad to pull out, you also need to pull out the A-pillars on both sides of the car in order to get the dash pad enough clearance to be able to pull it out of the car. And those A-pillars, they just pop right out. Here, I'll go ahead and show you how that's done. Pull the passenger one out, just pops right out as well. Just like that. All right, so once you get those 4 screws removed, which by the way, the 2 in the defroster, they stay attached to the dash pad itself. So don't try and actually remove them, just back them out to the point where that they're no longer secure to the dash frame. And then that's it. You just have to pop it up from there. And of course, there's some clips, and you just hold it right up. Now, of course, if we were actually going to pull the instrument cluster itself out or anything like that, then we would actually go ahead and fully remove the dash pad. But since I just need to get access to these Torx screws that are holding the lens in place, we're just going to go ahead and prop the dash pad up and keep it out of the way. So one other thing we have to remove in order to get access to the instrument cluster bezel is the lower column knee bolster. So it's a little hard to see under there, but there's a couple of screws. So we'll pull those screws out, pop that out, and then we'll be ready to get the bezel out. So now that we've got all the bezels out of the way, you can see the instrument cluster here. And if we were to actually remove it, it's just these 4 mounting screws to pull the instrument cluster itself out. We're not going to do that this time because we're just replacing the lens. As you can see, it's a little foggy at the bottom. So we're just going to pull these Torx bolts out, and then we'll swap out the lens itself. So you can see here the old bezel on the top is a little faded. It's got some grunge around it. And the new one's all cleaned up, ready to go. Looks brand new. And then it's a little harder to tell on the lens because it's a clear lens, but you can see there's a little bit of hazing at the bottom. I've tried polishing it up. It's not working out so well, so we're just going to go ahead and swap that out with another one that looks much better. All right, so that's how you take the dash pad and instrument cluster out of your SRT-4 or base Dodge Neon. And to put everything back together, of course, it's just the reverse order of what we did to take it apart. It's pretty straightforward. Doing some of the clips on like the A-pillar moldings can be a little tricky to get lined up and pop back into place, but as long as you take your time and feel it out, you shouldn't have any problems. So I hope you found this information in today's video useful and helpful as always. If you did, go ahead and smash that like button, give us a thumbs up. And if you want to be kept up to date of all my future videos that I upload, go ahead and smash that subscribe button down below and ring the notification bell as well, so that way YouTube will notify you of all my videos that I upload in the future. And as always, I will see you the next video.